Hey, my name is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living, and it's time to turn on your inner nerd. Okay, so first off, I am not a licensed financial advisor. I don't have any licensing. So this channel has to be taken as watching Calvin trade, his ideas, how things work. So one other thing, this channel is not affiliated with Humble or Blocks or anything else. This is my personal project, and I think there are people that will benefit from it. So that's why I'm doing it. Good afternoon, everybody. I just wanted to wish you all a happy dump your children off at school day. We were celebrating that just this morning. So that's why the video is a little bit late. I'm trying to figure out my schedule with kids and everything. But anyway, I've been putting a lot of thought into Bitcoin crossing this bottom line here. So we've had our bottom support that we've crossed, and I've been trying to decide whether it's serious or not too serious, and trying to think through the whole process. And something occurred to me, and I realized that I think I know where we're headed. So if we go over to the weekly chart, we've had a long downturn, and then it took us a few weeks, but we did close above the 200 week. And last week we had a nice green bar jumping off of the 200 week. So it essentially said we are officially above the 200 week moving average, and we're ready for bigger and better things. Well, most often something really emotional or something very strong, certain levels, whenever you break out of a level that's really important, a lot of times you'll come back and find it as support. And I think that's what's happening. So we have last week where we exited the 200 week moving average, which is about 23,000. And we closed the week at 24,300, something like that. And this week we are heading back down. And what I think we're doing is I think we're just going to find it as support. So that's my suspicion. So I'm less concerned than I was. These things take time, and there's a lot of, this is the bear market, and it's okay for things to, be really volatile and go up and down for a while. So I'm actually less concerned than I was. Today we're a little bit down, and that's okay. The 200 week is still at about 23,000. Right now it's about 22,950, so 23,000 is pretty close. So I'm betting that either today or tomorrow we'll probably touch it and find it as support, and then things will, we'll kind of go from there. Also, another thing I wanted to point out is that we have a pretty interesting pattern that has happened ever since our downturn. And I wanted to point this out. See how we had seven red days in a row back in end of June, early July. And then we had a push upward. And then we had 5 reds in a row. And then we had a push upwards. And then this downturn was 7 days. That was end of July. We had a push upward, 7 more days. And then we've had a nice push upward. We're on day 4 of our downward. The interesting thing is that we're averaging about 6 days on the downside, and it's been fairly consistent. So we've been pushing higher, and then we've had a kind of a fairly consistent downturn. So I kind of feel like at the rate we're going, it'll probably take 5 or 6 days before we probably touch the 200 week, and then we'll be ready for another push forward. So it should be interesting. We'll continue to watch it closely, but I really still feel like the bottom is in. There's just so many indications out there. For Ethereum, things are fine. We are if we found anything support, we had a very strong line at 17,030, or excuse me, 1,730, so 1,730, and we obviously went up, touched 20,000 or two, and I'm getting all kinds of messed up with Bitcoin and Ethereum. We hit 2,000, and now we're returning down, and we're figuring out where our next level of support is. But we are climbing up the ladder. We have, every level of support is higher than the last, and there's no reason why it should stop now. So we'll get a few more down days under our belt and we'll be off to the races again. So even though I now have a fair amount of positions in the red, I'm not concerned at all. So that's where I stand on that. That are noteworthy today. So the only coin in our green zone, Unify, we're having a little bit of a correction just along with everything else in the market. We've had 5 coins that have now dipped back under the 50-day moving average. So these coins are in the yellow zone. So a lot of them were late bloomers. Like they didn't quite get above the 100. This one here actually did, but once we dip below that 50, we're moving down a little bit. So I'm not sure what the long-term situation is on this one. But yeah, so a couple of these are dipping back under the 50. I still think that once Ethereum finds its bottom and starts moving again, everything will follow it. So I think these are all pretty temporary. Dogecoin was one that had a strong day yesterday, and you can see how as long as we can stay above the 50% mark, things are usually pretty strong. So if we close here or higher, our everything's still in place. So Doge looks fine. The other one that everyone's been watching is SHIB, and this is looking less good. We're starting to create a descending triangle on the probably smaller ranges, but I'm still fine with it because our 50 is so low. We have a huge playground. I'm okay for us to kind of consolidate up in this upper range for a while. I'm still waiting for things to start popping into the green zone, and we're not there yet. So I'm just holding tight. I'm willing to kind of ride it out. We had no new entrants to the green zone, but the 5 that are above the 200, they are actually having, most of them are green right now. So this Chili's is really rocking. So this is awesome. I'm looking forward to the point when it gets way too oversold, and we'll be looking for a short position on that. Ethereum Classic, it's started to lose its momentum. I thought there'd be one more push, and that's still not out of the woods, but we're gonna have to kind of watch it and see. We found support on the 50-week moving average, and it's above the 50, 100, and 200 week also. So on the weekly chart, if things tip, if we can get the 50 to turn up, we'd have a green zone, which we've never seen. The other thing that I wanted to point out, our beautiful short trade of optimism is just looking beautiful. It's coming down just like we thought it would with this structure. We fought a lower low, and now we're finding new lows today. So this one currently is about up 60% for me, and it won't be long before it hits the 50. I'm thinking of exiting at the 50. So that's kind of where my tentative take profit is. So this will probably exit at about 150% gain or so. Going down, you don't want to get too greedy because you just never know. So anyway, that's kind of the thing. I'm hoping that now with my kids in school, I can get onto a better schedule. And I'm even considering a couple of fun things. I've been trying to figure out if I should do one live stream a week, because that was really fun when I was doing that before. And apart from that, the platform, cryptoinfluencers.com, this platform, the developers are actually taking dedicated time just to set up my channel. They are the ones that, this is where we're doing the subscription channel. So they're working on, you know, setting up the payment processing and all of that stuff. Once it's ready to go, I'm going to be ready to go. So I've got plenty to talk to you about, how much of your portfolio to be using, you know, what to do on the trades. Position size really comes very clear when you see me actually trade, because things are volatile, things move up and down. I usually have about 2 or 3 backup plans for every trade that I make, and it's kind of a whole process. It'll really open your eyes for those that subscribe. So it will be on cryptoinfluencers.com right here, where I will be doing that. So I'm hoping, supposedly they've got a demo for me tomorrow or the next day, and hopefully if everything goes well, it won't be long and we can start. But it would be really fun to kind of show you guys how I'm doing. And like I said, you want to see some of my trades go upside down, because you want to know what I do and what I have done and how I've prepared for that, because that really separates the good traders from the bad traders, people that know what they're doing when things go wrong. So it's going to be awesome. I was debating on whether to tell you a story. I actually got into a spaces with a well-known crypto trader, and he has a lot of charts and he's always broadcasting all of these signals and everything else. And I decided to go into spaces that he was hosting and just ask him a couple of questions. And that was the question I asked. I asked him, you've got your perfect trade set up, everything's looking great, you go ahead and place the trade and things go wrong, what do you do? And his response blew my mind. He was like, oh, I'm really emotional, I cheat on my strategy a lot, I'll move my stops, I will do all of these things. Like, I was just blown away, because what that tells me is this guy's a horrible trader. There's no way he's making money. So he's making money selling books and looking smart, but he's not actually making money trading. And so that's kind of what makes my channel special, is that I'm not making a lot of money off of subscriptions or ads or anything else. I make all of my money for the past few years on trading. And so it'll just be fun to have a group that's interested, that I can talk to you about what I'm doing and how to do it. Anyway, it's gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. We will catch you tomorrow. Making it to the end of my video. So just remember, keep your trade small, be patient, wait for the trade to come to you. Don't get caught up in all of the hype. You guys are gonna kill it.